Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diagnosing a pretty massive anomaly in enterprise tech, exactly why 87% of models fail and how MLOps fixes it. We're looking at why these huge machine learning investments are consistently failing to yield actual business value, and more importantly, how we can engineer the cure. If you've been sitting there wondering why all that incredible data science just isn't turning into real ROI, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's dive right in.
We've got to start with a staggering reality, one that honestly should immediately change how you view machine learning in your organization. 87%. 87% of ML models fail to ever reach production. I mean, think about that for a second. Without crossing that deployment finish line, your entire data science investment is delivering absolutely zero business value. It just remains, a very, very expensive experiment.
And honestly, the diagnosis gets even worse when we start looking at the root causes. A massive 60% of ML project failures trace directly back to data quality issues. And here's the real kicker: the vast majority of this risk actually lives in stage 1 of the lifecycle. Meaning, these critical failures, they're happening long before a model is even trained. So it's not really about bad algorithms, it's about bad data foundations.
But hey, what about the rare few that actually survive and make it to deployment? Well, it turns out that 91% of those models will experience measurable performance degradation within just 9 months if they're left unmonitored. 91%. Getting to production isn't the finish line. Actually, scratch that. It's just the starting line for a whole new set of operational challenges.
Section 1. The three-dimensional complexity.
The absolutely crucial point here is understanding the core difference between traditional software and machine learning. Traditional DevOps, it's really designed to manage just one thing, code. But machine learning operations, or MLOps, has to manage this whole three-dimensional complexity. You're managing code, plus data, plus the models. And the catch is all three of these elements have to be versioned, tested, and deployed together simultaneously. That right there is exactly what makes ML operationalization so uniquely challenging. Section 2. Bridging the gap with MLOps.
So, MLOps exists specifically to close that massive gap between an isolated data science experiment and a rigorous, reliable engineering operation. To mature your operations, you simply can't stay stuck at stage 0, relying on ad hoc manual scripts with these clunky manual handoffs between teams. That just carries way too much risk and gives you literally zero reproducibility. You've got to progress up to full MLOps, where automated retraining, monitoring, and governance workflows are all just running seamlessly at scale. But here's the thing: you can't reach that level of maturity without the right people. Building the right team is absolutely critical, because reliability demands serious engineering rigor. You can't just hire a bunch of brilliant data scientists and magically expect production-grade systems. It just doesn't work that way. You need to combine data scientists who focus on the training logic and feature selection, with ML engineers who automate the pipelines and package those models, and MLOps engineers who are actually building that underlying platform layer and the CI/CD tooling. Each role utilizes totally distinct tools, but they have to work in perfect harmony to orchestrate the whole lifecycle. Moving on to Section 3, Why Models Silently Degrade. This quote highlights, honestly, the most terrifying concept in machine learning: the silent failure. Models usually don't just crash with a glaring 404 error on your screen. Instead, they just kind of start making bad predictions. Their quality gradually and completely invisibly declines. The predictions are still being served up, sure, but your actual business impact is slowly being eroded without you even knowing it's happening, until it's, severe. This degradation, it's basically driven by 3 invisible killers. First up is data drift. This is where the statistical distribution of your input features changes over time. Think of it like user behavior just naturally shifting. Second is concept drift. This is when the actual relationship between your inputs and your target changes, kind of like when fraud patterns evolve to actively bypass your current logic. And third, upstream data changes. This is where a random schema change or a suddenly missing field just silently corrupts your model inputs. All 3 of these look exactly like model failures on the surface, but they require totally different fixes.
Which brings us to Section 4, the 4 layers of monitoring.
Now, most IT teams stop right at layer 1, infrastructure monitoring. They're watching CPU utilization, checking latency, your standard DevOps metrics. But true MLOps requires stepping it up. Layer 2 is data quality monitoring, where you're actively tracking feature distributions. Then you've got Layer 3, model performance monitoring, which tracks accuracy and prediction drift. And finally, the holy grail, layer 4, business KPI monitoring. You absolutely have to connect your model outputs to actual business outcomes, like how much churn was prevented or how much fraud was actually caught. And why do we monitor all this stuff? Well, to automate it. By monitoring these specific layers, you can set explicit thresholds, say a population stability index over 0.2, or maybe an accuracy drop greater than 5%. When these thresholds are crossed, boom, they automatically trigger a retraining pipeline. This is called continuous training. It's a concept that's totally unique to ML, and it's a real game changer because it completely removes human bottlenecks from your feedback loop.
All right, Section 5, the new rules of governance.
Governance is absolutely non-negotiable, especially now. We're talking about enforcing least privilege access, meaning your data scientists should never, ever have direct write access to a production endpoint. Every single deployment has to go through an automated, fully auditable pipeline. It requires multi-role sign-offs, too. Think a technical review from your ML engineer plus a performance review from a data scientist. And crucially, it's about preparing for these strict new regulatory laws, like the EU AI Act of 2024, which carries massive financial penalties if you're not in compliance. No joke. But despite all this talk about pipelines and monitoring, we've got to acknowledge a hard truth. Ultimately, culture beats tooling every single time. The biggest MLOps failures are actually organizational. If you have these siloed data science teams that just resist embedding standard engineering practices like code review, version control, and testing from day one, then even the best, most expensive platforms are going to fail. You simply cannot rely on notebook-driven production. Listen, Jupyter notebooks are fantastic for exploration, but they are not for production. Period. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. MLOps is a foundational infrastructure investment, for sure. But if you aren't tying it directly to business KPIs, if you can't measure its exact contribution to revenue or risk mitigation, how are you ever going to justify the investment to leadership? It is time to stop just experimenting and really start engineering.